Hi, it's Lee and welcome to the Tesla Economist. Time's been marching on. We're several more years into the EV game and we're seeing more on how it unfolds and what the future looks like for the industry. Okay, in all fairness, Tesla haven't really done much since the Model Y as far as new models that have come out. However, we have seen at the rate they can produce the Model Y, about 3 times volume production in Shanghai, which is exceptional. But aside from that, we haven't really seen how Tesla are progressing. The 4680s haven't come very far at all. The Cybertruck has not yet started production, although of course we expect that to finally start this quarter. Other than that, we've only been told about the new production techniques that Tesla will start utilizing once Mexico is complete. And we're now actually hearing rumors that CATL are looking at building a cell and battery factory there too, which would make sense, as these cars are somewhat useless without any batteries. So in reality, that's all the hope there is for Tesla at this stage really. The new unboxed parallel manufacturing technique that will be able to utilize any cell or battery in the production process, and thus not dependent on the 4680 cells. That is Tesla's future progress for EVs, aside from FSD. And I'm not trying to belittle it at all, as Elon claims it could reduce the production cost of the current lowest cost Tesla by half. A number I am still shocked about and is highly underrated. Okay, so Tesla have demonstrated over the last few years that they are able to reach high volume production in manufacturing EVs and are able to do so with a profit. In fact, a really good profit, at least when the economy is doing well and rates are not so high. Tesla has one model that is selling over 1 million a year annually and being produced in the 3 continents with the biggest markets in the world. This offers absolutely insane economies of scale. The entire company has pretty much been oriented around achieving this, with the best engineers who specialize in it, and with about 20 years of experience now in learning, evolving, and refining electric vehicles. All of this has resulted in what is now the best-selling vehicle in many markets, even despite its relatively high price tag. Despite it selling so well, it doesn't truly have unlimited demand like, for lack of a better word, it did somewhat feel like in the past. Tesla had to lower the price in order to meet demand due to additional supply and changes in the economy. Therefore, Tesla has set the benchmark for the price point of an electric crossover and sedan, meaning anyone who wants to compete must be competitive with Tesla in some way. The likes of BMW or Mercedes can charge more for their EVs and market themselves as a more luxurious version, and even add in features like cooling seats, head-up display, or air suspension, and they can get away with a higher price tag. But the problem is for them, that still doesn't necessarily result in BMW making more profit than Tesla. For starters, even if BMW really market their EVs well, they're never going to be as good an electric car as Tesla. They won't have the range, handling, or performance. Then they won't have the technology or features like Tesla offers, like FSD and many more. It will be an inferior vehicle for more dollars. And they'll get some sales, as not everyone wants a Tesla. I think BMW's best-selling car is the X5 at just over 300,000 units a year. Now, if BMW did have an electric crossover that actually was competitive to the Model Y, i.e. better than the current BMW iX3, then perhaps at best sales might be 50,000 a year. Consumers buying an electric car consider Tesla as well as the brand that they're previously loyal to. In fact, I doubt BMW would even sell 50,000 a year. And that would be at a price tag of $5,000 to $10,000 more than a Model Y. Okay, so the equivalent BMW would probably end up being about $10,000 more than the Model Y, and have a few other extras that Tesla doesn't have, along with many that you have to pay extra for that come standard in a Tesla. And then the BMW would lack range, performance and handling, and potentially the charging network. So a rational consumer looking for an electric crossover would be comparing the lower cost, higher value Tesla to this BMW, and most would end up buying the Tesla. My real point here is that, remember, Tesla are making over 1 million a year, and BMW would be way under 50,000. Tesla would probably make 30 to 50 times as many in reality. The difference in economies of scale is insane. Not only that, the difference in Tesla's manufacturing processes, cells, batteries, drivetrain, etc. has massive cost savings. Not only that, BMW have the additional costs of the unions and then, of course, the car dealers. Also, BMW would likely struggle to even make any more than 50,000 units anyway with their manufacturing techniques. What I'm getting at is even if BMW offered a nicer, more prestigious electric crossover to compete with the Model Y, and even if BMW charged $10,000 more, which is a lot of money for starters, then BMW would still not be able to come close to making a profit on these vehicles. It would not be at all profitable. In fact, I would guess they're still losing at least $10,000 per vehicle, maybe twice that. And that would be even when BMW have set up their own battery and cell factories and have custom-built facilities. That would also imply that they could even sell 50,000 a year, and if they could produce 50,000, the same would apply for Mercedes. These are prestigious brands that can get away with a $10,000 higher price tag than Tesla due to their brand, but selling their electric vehicles is still a niche for these OEMs, and not all their customers want them, because most people turn to Tesla if they're going to electric. So just to repeat, 1. The likes of BMW, Mercedes, Audi, etc., they can't physically make their vehicles in volume production to even take advantage of economies of scale. 2. Even if they could produce in volume production at 200,000 a year or more and benefit from economies of scale, it would still be pale in comparison to Tesla. 3. Even if they could produce over 200,000 of one model, then they wouldn't have enough demand. 4. Even if they did have enough demand, they still wouldn't be able to make a profit. They don't have the supply, they don't have the demand, and they don't have the profits. I think the one company that could potentially get away with a high enough price to cover electric costs is Porsche. Also, Tesla are done trying to make the quickest EVs, so Porsche could take those niches with different market segments that Tesla are not in. And what about other brands that are not so prestigious, like mainstream brands such as Volkswagen or Ford and GM? These brands are inferior to Tesla. They have to undercut Tesla in price if they want to sell enough vehicles. In order to do that, they would also have to undercut Tesla in costs. Again, for the same reason, simply not going to happen. They have even less chance than the prestigious brands. They could niche into certain areas, like the Ford Lightning as a work truck, but for these brands, electric is already niche. If they niche too far, then they simply have a really small market, which means less economy of scale, which means more cost. So any niche market would mean they have to sell for very expensive. And okay, the electric pickup truck probably isn't actually that niche, but it doesn't have much competition because Tesla aren't in that arena yet. The thing is, the Cybertruck may not be as utilitarian as the Lightning for some people's uses. However, as an electric pickup truck, it does offer a lot more in other areas. It has more range, power, motors, and many other outstanding features, many we haven't even heard of yet. It appeals to a wider consumer base more than the regular pickup truck owner, rather a lifestyle vehicle than a work vehicle. So it's possible that Tesla are even going to expand the pickup truck market with this vehicle. And Ford and GM are going to be seriously worried about Tesla taking their market share of their pickup truck market, the most profitable market they're in. Ford is already starting to abuse the Cybertruck, saying it's not a proper work vehicle. They're clearly concerned. Anyway, the thing is, there is no sign that in the future any of this is going to change. Legacy can try and do what they can, but even if they get costs lower than Tesla, Legacy still have car dealerships and unions. I bring up unions so much because the cost adds around $2,000 to $5,000 per vehicle, which is huge. Is Legacy just trying to establish their position in the market now and hope or expect that the technology will improve so much over time that they can offer electric at parity to ICE? Tesla will be in limited supply for some time, and people still need cars. If there's a larger movement for consumers to electric, then Tesla may again increase their prices, as there will be such little competition. Legacy do have factories producing hundreds of gigawatt hours a year of batteries coming soon though, probably enough for around 4 million EVs a year, but they're closer to 80 million vehicle sales a year. 4 million isn't going to have any major impact, and these 4 million are still going to be sold at a loss. If it's $10,000 loss per vehicle, that's $40 billion a year loss. That's too big a number. Legacy won't be able to survive at that rate. Hi there, I'm using Verbalate AI video translation and lip sync software. It's pretty amazing. Watch this. I can translate my videos into other languages. For example, I am now speaking Hindi.
नमस्ते, मैं पहली बार हिंदी में बोल रहा हूं, लेकिन वर्बलेट इसे इतना आसान बना देता है.
Or how about Spanish?
Hola, vaya, increíble.
También puedo hablar español. Sign up at verbalate.ai today to gain early access to trial the product for creators and strategic partners, and gain the ability to translate and lip sync videos in all major languages. You can view the info in the description below.